Hello, my dear friend. I hope you are doing great. Welcome back to my channel. If you have not subscribed it, please subscribe it, press the bell icon, hit the like button also. Friends, as you know, we have already covered up to Article 19. Now I am going to start about the Article 20. But before starting Article 20, I want to discuss about the one important topic, and it can be perspective for your preliminary and main examination. Like, I want to talk about the Article 1 to 4, means sedition. We have already covered up to Article 19, and in the Article 19 we discussed about the Article 19 clause 1 clause A, that is right to freedom and expression. But there are 8 reasonable restrictions on the freedom of speech and expression. But sedition doesn't come in that criteria. It is comes under the Indian Penal Code, IPC. It comes under IPC. And what is that sedition and Article 1 to 4? Article 1 to 4 is explicitly saying that if you are inciting or you are like you are creating disaffection towards the government by your speech or your writings or your symbols, or you are publishing on the media against the government. And you might have seen or heard several times in the news itself, because some people are posting some inflammatory statements over this digital media, and they are booked by the several times by the executive or police authority. Then what was the history of this Article 1 to 4 IPC sedition? Earlier there was a British government here in India. At that point of time, like so many nationalist people, they want to grow nationalism feelings in the society. That's why they were gathering the people, they were evoking the sentiments of that time of the crowd. Due to British government was in apprehension, or they would subvert the government of their. That's why they came up with this type of legislation. And you know that Indian Penal Code was brought about the Lord Macaulay in the 1833 itself, and still we are following the colonial rule and regulations. Sometimes you will find colonial hangover over our judicial system, but let's forget about that. Right now we are talking about the history of the Article 1 to 4. Article 1 to 4 was for the to suppress the evoking feelings or the nationalism feeling of the Indian freedom fighter. At that point of time, the Bal Gangadhar Tilak was arrested for the accusation of the sedition. But that point of time, judge was not able to prove his sedition or disaffection towards the government. But they look at the grim of the judiciary system. That point of time, he was convicted under the Article 1 to 4 sedition, and he was sentenced up to 6 years. And in that judgment, judge told, and he convicted the Bal Gangadhar Tilak for the sedition. Why? Because there was a lack of the affection towards the government. That's why he prosecuted the Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Means lack of affection is at that point of time was considered as a sedition. Means you have to always show affection towards government. That point of time, that was the rule. Due to this ambiguity in the sedition rule, several times even we are finding so many example our government is misusing or misutilizing this type of legislation. But in the 1962 there was a case regarding this sedition, Kedarnath versus Union of India. That was a case that people were protesting, or people were doing protest against the government. And in the 1962 there was a case of the in that area, in the Punjab area, people were protesting for the they were saying Khalistan Jindabad, and they want to have a separate territory. But there was no case of the violation or incitement of the violence, and that's why the Supreme Court set them free, all of that protester. Because after the Operation Blue Star, when the Indian government like confiscated the Golden Temple area, and that was like a very like a touch of the sentiments of the Sikh people. That's why there was a like slogan like Raj Karega Khalsa and all such type of slogan were people chanting, and for that they were booked. But after the court verdict in the Kedarnath versus State of Punjab case, they cleared, or even the same thing he reiterated, the courts reiterated in the Balwant Singh versus State of Punjab in 1955 1995 also. And that Supreme Court finalized its verdict by saying that yes, the slogan is not a disaffection towards the government, but they are not inciting any violence in the society. That's why they said, the Supreme Court set them free. Means there is a provision in the Article 124 sedition. If you are representing your disaffection towards the government, that is legal, and you are not agree with any statement of the legislation, then you can peacefully protest in front of the any office. But the best and the most important part is that your like freedom of speech and expression should not hamper the freedom of speech or routine life of the another people. And that's why like the same thing reiterated in the Supreme Court also again and again. And even if I would talk about the Raj Karega Khalsa, not a very like that statement was unpalatable, means that was very typical to digest such type of slogans. But still like Supreme Court set them free because they were not inciting violence in the society. Means we have to keep this thing in mind. After like even like a Shreya Singhal case, like Shreya Singhal case, our Supreme Court struck down the IT Act 2066A clause also, because sometimes even in the Maharashtra there was a case that one girl belongs to Maharashtra. She posted on her Facebook page regarding what is the meaning to meaning Bandas district if a politician is died. Then one of her friend liked her post, and both were booked under the sedition law. But in the 2015 Shreya Singhal versus of Union of India case, this Supreme Court set them free because, and even it struck down the provision of the IT Act 2066A. But right now that is a different situation with the asterisk mark that our constitution or law book, Indian Penal Code law book, mentioning there that it is struck down after the 2015. But this is the plight of our executive. Still people are booked under the IT Act 2066A clause. And let's move further about the Article 20. I think now it would be clear for you that what is the sedition law and what are the provision and like right to protest your fundamental rights, and you can protest peacefully in front of any, or you can criticize the government also, doesn't matter. But there should be you should keep things in mind, like you should not incite violence in the society, otherwise you would be booked under the Article 124 sedition. Now let's jump to the Article 20. Article 20 is that no person shall be convicted any offence except for the violation of the law in force at that point of time, commission of the act, charge, and offence, or not be subjected to any penalty greater than the which might have been inflicted under the law in the force at that time of commission of offence. And friends, like it is very typical to understand the wordings and meaning of our political science, because it is very ambiguous. There is a lot of ambiguity in the statement, but here I am to assist you that this law, Article 20 clause 1, comes into the two part. The first part is saying that no person shall be convicted, means of any offence except for violation of law in that course of time. Means if any offence is done by me at right now, then I would be prosecuted under the law which is present right now. Means if in the next month there would be another different law would become. Right now, like I am teaching on the YouTube, that some people, right now it is legal, but after some time, after 1 month, there would be like another law that would place my teaching as illegal. Then that point of time I would be prosecuted under that law. But right now whatever I am doing, that is legal, means at that point of time any law or legislation would be there, then person would be prosecuted on that law. And the second part is saying that, means what type of punishment would be there at that point of time, like at the commission of the offense, that punishment would be liable, the person should be liable to get punishment under that provision, not more than that. Even you can take example of the 2012, that was a horrific and grotesque case. In that Nirbhaya case, you might have heard in the newspaper, or you might have read in the newspaper regarding that, and a girl was raped in the running bus by the so many 5 or 6 people. Among them one was a like juvenile, and according to that point of time 2012, because in our India there was a Juvenile Justice Act of 2000, and that boy was prosecuted under the Juvenile Justice Act. At that point of time there was a provision to have or to give punishment up to, or like a, even not the jail, that rehabilitation center would provide them 3-year sentence. But after that rule, our legislation came up with the amendment, and they amended that point time in 2015 they amended the constitution. And after that juvenile, that who comes under the between the age of the 16 to 18, would consider as an adult if he is committing any heinous crime, and that can be like rarest of the rare case, then he should be went up to the life imprisonment or the death sentence also. Means after juvenile would be considered as an adult. That was provision came later after the 2012 case. That's why that person named Sonu was prosecuted under the Juvenile Justice Act 2000 itself only, and the law came after that word. That's why the Article 20 clause 1 is saying the same thing, and the Article 20 clause 2 is saying that no person shall be prosecuted and punished for the same offense more than once. Like I want to let me explain this thing in with my example. Like if I have committed any mistake, or I have murdered anyone else, and like call person name A. If I am murdering the person A, then I would be get punishment of the 14 years life imprisonment. And after the coming from the jail, I want to live life happily. Then if the police would arrest me again, and they would like deport me to the in front of the court, and that point of time I would ask to the judiciary, yes, I have already like completed my jail sentence, why you are taking me to the jail again and again? Then the Supreme Court or the court would definitely say, yes, no person shall be prosecuted and punished for the same offense. That is comes under the Article 20 clause 2, and you can remember this by this example for longer duration. And Article 20 clause 3. Clause 3 is talking about the no person accused of any offense shall be compelled to bear witness against himself. Like you might have seen in the movie, like sometimes due to if you have done or any person have done like any mistakes and any crime, then he is always would be in the judicial custody of the police, and he would be like beaten by the very grotesque manner. And definitely if you have not, or that person would have not done any mistake, but in front of the police he will accept all his mistakes. That is the situation in the jail, like with each and every person. But there is a safeguard provision provided by our legislation, like our constitution under Article 20 clause 3, means no person accused of any offense shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. If a person giving any statement in front of the police or media, then it would not consider as a evidence. I can take example of the Afzal Guru, that he was a mastermind of the 2001 parliament attack, and in front of the media he accepted all the things and all his crimes. But at that point of time, that at conviction of that person, that judges through all the evidence, and because confession in front of the judiciary can be considered as a evidence, but in front of the executive it would not consider as a evidence. Please keep this thing in mind, that if a person is confessing, or any terrorist confessing his crime in front of the judiciary, then only it would consider as a evidence. If a person is accepting in front of the media or in front of the police, then it would not consider as a evidence. Or you will talk about the polygraphy. And polygraphy sometimes, like our judiciary, or you have seen in the news, like court is allowing, or high court is allowing to do polygraphy and the narco test and all things by injecting the like subtropic substances, and they are able to extract the information from that person. But if a person is not agree, or not in agreement, then it would not consider as a, or the judiciary or the executive would not force that person to conduct any polygraphy or any psychotropic substances test and all things, because it is safeguard provided under the article 20 clause 3. But if a person is willing to have or conduct any such type of test, then it would be considered as evidence. But the best part is, in our judiciary system, they will, if a high court is giving permission, or if a executive is asking or seeking permission, because if there is a stalemate in the investigation, police is not able to do any good advancement in the case solve problem, then definitely up to the request of the executive, judiciary can grant any polygraphy and the scientific test. But they would not consider the polygraphy evidence on the statement as a evidence, but with the help of that, like police or executive can find any weapon or any place, any data from the evidence can be collected. That's why our high court is giving permission for the such type of cases, if they are judiciary is finding it compatible, or they are finding it suitable. And I want to tell you a very important thing, and you will find so many questions from the article 20 itself, and because it remains always in the news. And article 20 clause 1, putting restriction on the legislation, means there should be no legislation, and the person should be prosecuted, and that legislation cannot be give retrospective effect. Means at that point of time there would be some time of the law, then it would be prosecuted under that law, and that puts restriction on the legislator. And the second one is no person prosecuted same offense more than once, means it imposes restriction on the our executive, means executive cannot be punished a person more than once. And the third one is imposes restriction on the judiciary. How? In judiciary evidence should not be considered polygraphy test and all things. They have to collect evidence as per the provision. And let's move further. If I will talk about the no person shall be accused of any an polygraphy test, if you will talk about a person fingerprints, and these are the legal, or they are not cannot be denied under article 20 clause 3, because fingerprints are the scientifically proven, they cannot be changed or cannot be forced any, or there could not be any manipulation in the evidence. That's why fingerprinting would be considered as a legal source, and it can be conducted as per the judiciary view, but it doesn't comes under the article 3 or clause 3 of the article 20. Please keep this thing in mind. It can be like preliminary questions also in the future. And even I want to give example of that. Indrani Mukherjee was a INX newspaper owner and NewsX newspaper owner, and she murdered her daughter, that Sina Bora, and that was a very famous case. And like court give permission, that high court give permission to conduct any narco test. With the help of the narco test, they were able to extract the information from that lady, and after that the police executive collect evidence and they were able to prosecute that lady. And that this is the why sometimes even the judiciary is also giving permission without any consent of the person, because there is a stalemate in the investigation and our judiciary want to give justice to the victim. That's why high court, but we have to keep things in mind. Only judiciary can permit such type of like test and narco test and the all polygraphy and all things that can be permitted. That is all for today. I will come tomorrow with more explanation, and please like listen carefully whatever I am telling here. It can be prospective questions for the preliminary, and you can utilize these statements in the mains examination and so. And by listening you can remember for the longer duration, because if by reading you would keep this thing in mind for the single day, or you would be like in the quagmire by learning or by reading such type of things. But whatever I am explaining you can remember for the longer duration. Thanks for watching. Bye.